Oh, he looks so cute. Wrap around my finger. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Get it. Yeah, pose. Oh, ride it. Big Bertha. Girls, I'm about to shit myself. I've gotta go. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this.
Hi, can I order tea and 2 sugars, please?
Hello guys and welcome back to Tea and 2 Sugars. I'm Tatty, your host who has had a morning. Let me tell you that. It's been all systems go this Monday morning, starting the week with a bang, a crash and a wallop because it's currently, I haven't got a watch on, 1:30. Pretty sure it feels like I woke up 2 hours ago, but I've had a very productive morning. And now we're here. I'm here with my best friend, Joe. Say hello, Joe. Face everyone. You're so rude. Anyway, Joe's here. Joe's had a pretty chill morning, had a great weekend. We went to see Sabrina Carpenter. Joe was, you dressed him a nines, didn't you, Joe? He had a great time. We were very luckily taken by a brand, which was so sweet. I was Joe's +1 because that's the level of stardom he's reached at this moment in time. But that's me. As you will notice, I'm dressed in another non-burgundy moment this weekend. I've decided to sack the burgundy, guys. I'm just thinking, this is me. This is who I am. Brown. I'm just the espresso vibes. I don't think I'd had my nails done. Oh, I had, yes, because we filmed last week's episode a little bit later. Sorry for the finger I'm about to stick up for those watching. I've chipped it. I've got 2 chocolate chip nails. The ends come off. I was looking at it the other day. I went, hang on a damn minute. Where's that gone then? So this is another maybe tracksuit, guys. I was getting so many compliments on the black one that I went for the brown zip up. Bit of ASMR. And it's lovely. The only thing I will say is they aren't the coziest of tracksuits. However, I think that elevates it ever so slightly because it isn't that like jersey material. But it's a really, really lovely colour. I think it'd be nice for airport outfits. You know when you go, here's a good idea. You know when you're going on holiday, leaving freezing cold England, and you get to your destination and it's like tropical. I feel like this is quite a nice material because it is warm, but it's also like quite lightweight as well. It's not fuzzy or anything like that. So that's that. And I've also got a blanket on because it's a bit chilly in here today. This doesn't really match the vibe, but it's nice and cozy and my knees are ever so warm. Ever so warm. Anyway, I've literally sat down today, guys, and just said to the girls, I don't know what I'm going to say. I feel a bit delulu, a bit delirious. My rollers are good today, though, don't you think? Look at that. My hair, oh my God. I cannot begin to tell you the difference I am seeing in my hair. I have, what date is it today? Where are we? Who are we? 17th of March. Guys, since the 1st of February to the 17th of March, I'm going to go with that 6 weeks, I have slicked my hair back once in a moment of weakness, might I add. Actually, no, to be fair, it was that I wanted a fresh blowout for the day after, and it was kind of at that point when my hair looked vile and I really, really needed it. I needed something to happen with it. Got it slicked back. I don't know how I did that. That was hell. The poor front up. No wonder my hair. My public apology to the TikTok community, my little tatty huns. My fucking hairline scraped back. I could feel it tugging on my scalp. Couldn't wait to take it out, just get my hair through it, get my fingers through my hair. Anyway, my hair's so much better. It's growing so much faster and it's so thick and so soft all the time. Now, I fear this may be because of some products I'm using. I've been using, if any of my dry hair, low porosity girls are listening, the Kerastase Night Serum for dry hair. I think it's like in a sunset burgundy orange bottle. Put it on every night. It smells fantastic. It's so good. Like my hair used to get like dry and brittle after about 2-3 days. No more. No more, my dudes. My hair, I really want to keep showing you, but I'm like, I've got some plastic bits in my hair. So that's that. I actually can't believe it, and I fear I might be able to make this a real thing. Because I was always just worried about putting heat on my hair, but I use in my hair care routine, all the products I have heat protectant in them anyway. And then I've also started using this L'Oreal Pro Spray, which is this magical little thing. And it has thermo memory technology in it. So you spray it on, does smell a bit like alcohol, I won't lie. But it remembers the shape. So it's like my Dyson Chai-Tosan cream, but in a spray. So I'm not putting another cream on my already dry hair. 10 out of 10 recommend. I am going to do a TikTok on it. Anywho, let's go on to the start of the pod today. We're going to start with my boiling point and my 2 sugars. We're going to start with my 2 sugars because we're positive. So my first sugar, I may cry. Oh, Lizzie is here, by the way, but she's lost her voice, so she's not going to be speaking. But if you keep seeing me look over, I'm not losing my mind. There is a person in the room with me. Just make some noise. Yeah, great, that'll do. So I'm going to do an episode. We're going to have like a girl talk sleepover vibe at some point where I'll go more into, because a lot of you really liked the episode about me, which really inflated my ego. But I'm going to go more into it in that episode. Basically, my first sugar for today is my second outfit. Oh my God, I'm going already. My second outfit for Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my God. I might need a tissue, Liz. Pause. Play some elevator music. Do, 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 do. You simply must go watch my Get Dressed With Me from Sabrina Carpenter last week because I actually really enjoyed filming that video. So I'd basically gone, I think I said in the last episode, I wanted to go like espresso vibes. So I ordered 7 million things. And you only give yourself way too much option. Now, I am a girl who grew up dancing, who grew up tall, who grew up always having eyes on my body composition and all of that. People used to make comments about my body. So I've always been a very, very self-conscious person. So you will never, ever, ever catch me in a bodycon. It simply will not happen. That's why I love Odd Muse, because it's cinches at the waist and then comes out. I love my legs. I've never had a problem with my legs. My legs are one of my favourite features about myself. And for years, I've only ever dressed a certain way. And I was trying on outfits, and it was literally maybe 2 weeks ago where I had an absolute mentee bee about my body because I was very, very bloated. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore. It's so sad. Anyway, so I'm trying on these outfits. I was like, oh, this looks good. Like, this looks good. And then I put the outfit on that normally would make me feel really good. I was like, no, I can do better than this. Like, this is not the vision I am seeking. So, there's a brand called Wonderdoll. If you don't know who they are, honestly, check them out. You can tell that they are designed by a woman who knows what she wants and knows how different people's bodies are made up and composed. She always does videos about how she makes her dresses and how they are the most flattering. Anyway, so I bought this Wonderdoll bodysuit, and it's basically full lace. It's just a lace bodysuit and a lace skirt. And I was going to go in, what was I going to wear? I was going to wear Odd Muse shorts and this, and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to try the lacy bodysuit on and the skirt. I put it on and I was like, I thought I was going to hate this because even though you're still technically covered, you can still see your body through it. Does that make sense? Like, you're still very on show, but all of you is still covered. And I put it on. I was like, this is really nice. It's actually really bloody lovely. Well done, me. And I bought it in a size that was actually not my size because it was the only one available on ASOS next day delivery. That I had delivered to the hotel, might I add. So it needed to fit. Tough. It was a risky game I was playing. Anyway, I put it on and I was like, this is mint. Well done, me. Great. Stunning. Felt amazing. Looked really good. Was really flattering. Felt like I could move and jiggy in it. I did take jeans anyway because I was scared that I was going to go a bit feral and and I was going to like fall out of something. So anyway, I made the goal this year to be better at taking content on trips. So I did 2 outfit videos. I sat and I looked at them. And normally what I would do is analyze it. And I'd think, oh, that's okay. Like, I'll post that. No one's going to notice that. I'm a person who analyzes my own body to the nth degree, like to points where people will never notice the things that I notice. And I'm sure there's so many people out there. I could not pick out anything wrong with how I looked. Not a single part of me could find an inch of why my body didn't look good in that outfit. I was like, is this what normal people feel like? Is this, and I don't know if it is, because a lot of, I don't know. I've never experienced that before. Like, I've always just sort of been like, oh, I don't really like how this looks, but, you know, people tell me I look all right, so it's fine. This is the first time I would go as far as to say my entire life where I couldn't find a thing. So that is a well done to me. 25, 15 years on of my disordered eating journey. And honestly, that's why it makes me emotional, because I just couldn't, I tried, really tried, because I was really trying to be like, no, this is not normal for me. So I would like to thank Wonder Doll. I'd like to thank me, and I would like to thank Wonder Doll, because I actually think that the way their things are designed helps a lot. And their bodysuit, that's part of their Nara cohort, is one of my favourite things to wear because it's so cozy and warm. I think it's double lined, and it's, me and my sister are tall, but I have a short torso, but like a long hip area. So bodysuits never ever fit me. They fit tall people. Grace has worn my Nara bodysuit. I think she's got her own now. She's also tall. Like, I actually cannot recommend their stuff enough. It's a bit more of an expensive, but for the way it makes me feel and how I felt on Saturday, I had so many compliments. And I think it was just that really nice balance of I still felt covered and that every part of me was covered, but because of the lace. Yeah, so that's my first sugar. Me. Me. I'm trying to think what we can wrap that up into. Feeling body confident. So well done, me. And I think it's just for someone who has had, like, I think I'm still very, very body dysmorphic, but when I looked at that video, I was like, oh no, I'm actually fine. Like, I'm actually so fine. Just because I didn't look how I did 4 years ago when I was prancing about in a Teletubby 6 times a day, getting my heart rate to 200 BPM every 2 hours. Just because I don't like that, it doesn't mean that. And I also realised I felt unhappy in my body at every single weight and size I've been. So why am I doing myself a disservice? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's just my frontal lobe developing, or maybe I don't know, catch me in 2 weeks crying about how I look again. But I don't know, it's just really nice for that moment. Anyway, my second sugar, Lizzie, could you actually just, God, this is, what a Monday. So if you don't know, my second sugar is Farron Clark. Farron also works at Wonder Doll. She used to work, just bring the bag, Liz. Farron used to work at John and Letitia, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Farron for a few years. This is my brand new bag. This is the Aurora large bag that Farron has. And she influenced me to get this. And she also, the thing with Farron is she's so authentically herself in her videos, and she's exactly the same online and in person, but she is the nicest, most uplifting person ever. I really, really want everyone to go and check out her. She has the coolest fashion sense, but sorry, Farron, she's not out there at all. They're very, very achievable looks, no matter what your budget is. And I think that is what is so nice about her, is that she dresses so sick and she wears it with such an aura and such a presence, but not everything is like crazy expensive, which I think when you catch them fashion girlies, sometimes they're all really, really expensive and sometimes unachievable. So I don't think Farron gets the flowers she deserves sometimes. She did so much when she was at Jordana T-shirt, and she's doing so much while she's at Wonderdoll as well. And she's so funny. And I know she's going to Australia. I think she might actually be out in Australia when this comes out. So if you're listening to this, Farron, I hope you're having a fantastic time. You really deserve the time off. That was such an impromptu sugar. I was just looking at my bag over there and I thought, yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's give Farron her flowers. So my second sugar is Farron Clark. I think that is her username on both, and she has such a fun broadcast channel on Instagram as well. My boiling point. Actually, do you know what? My boiling point. Now, I am such a scared person to have opinions, and as I'm growing and glowing, I'm learning that it's okay to have opinions, and I would like to talk a little bit about the discourse online about what people were wearing at the Sabrina Carpenter concert. Now, as someone who, as I have just said, has an absolute mentee bee every time I need to leave the house that isn't in some sort of like fitted trouser and a nice top, finding outfits for that concert caused me so much stress and anxiety. I remember I literally put a message in my group chat like, I am 2 seconds away from going in a blazer and a set of like maybe trousers, because that's how I feel my best. I don't know. I understand it's so fun to get dressed up in the vibe of the person that is going to the concert. I don't know where this whole narrative has come from, where we need to dress in the theme of the concert. I don't remember this ever being a thing. I saw Billie Eilish before lockdown, and I just thought, oh, well, just like Billie Eilish, like I'll just wear like a baggy trouser and a baggy top. But correct me if I'm wrong, Lizzie, no one else was really, everyone just sort of wore what they wanted. And I don't know I think maybe it's Harry Styles that it started with the cowboy hats and feather boas. And then we obviously had the Eras tour where people would dress as the Eras. Like, guys, listen, this is a completely separate conversation to the people that go and don't sing and dance. This is not what I'm talking about, because as someone who went with 2 separate brands, even though I did have tickets on one of those occasions, I completely understand the ag and the annoyance from fans. This is not what I'm talking about here. It really makes me annoyed, because it's expensive to buy a concert ticket. It's expensive to then buy a specific outfit. And then it's also expensive to get your hotel, your travel. It's just not necessary, guys. Like, if you're there for the music and you're there because you like the artist, wear whatever the fuck you want and whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Because I would hate for people to go to a Sabrina Carpenter concert in a corset and a cute little puff dress, feel really insecure the whole time and not feel like they can enjoy themselves. If you want to go in an oversized t-shirt and some shorts, no problemo. Put a bit of blush on. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessary. And so my boiling point is shaming people for wearing not the uniform for the concert. That's me. That's all I've got to say on that. And I don't know if it's just because I've had first-hand experience of just being like, I don't want to conform to this, you know? But here we are. Actually, maybe it did push me out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I was still worried that I was literally trying that bodysuit on and trying to make it fit. And because I'd already said I was going that espresso vibe, but I wasn't wearing brown. So I was like, right, the lace, it's similar to her capri bodysuit. So if anyone calls me out for it, I can just say, like, that was how in my head I got about it. And eventually I was just like, nah, look, fucking mint, I'm going to wear it. And I got so many compliments on it anyway. So that's me, that's my life. In the cup today, I got to the studio and Lizzie goes, Tassie, when was the last time you had a Ribena? And I'd like to open that question to the chat. When was the last time you had a Ribena? Because mine, I can't remember. So in the cup today, everyone, we've got Ribena. Ting, 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 ting. Lizzie's got a little bottle of it, and we're going to enjoy this first sip together. It just reminds me of childhood and picnics. I don't think it tastes the same not through a straw. Oh, that is good. Joe, have you got anything you'd like to add to the conversation today, you little espresso? That's that me espresso. That's why Joe got guest tickets, because he is that him espresso, you know? Right, guys, we have absolutely banging stories today. I'm gonna do my favourite one first, I think, because I'm so excited to read this story. So let's go on to number 1. Here we go. Right, Hans. Story 1. I've actually had some context on this story because the person that wrote this story actually messaged me on Instagram. So I have had communication with the person that wrote this story and I'm so excited to read it. Basically, you can, if you ever want to send in a story, you can attach pictures, and they sent a screenshot of a text that was sent, and I haven't read the story, I have only read the text. And everyone I have read the text to so far has been flabbergasted. I literally was reading it crying, laughing. So I hope it is actually something we can laugh about. Otherwise, I've taken it way out of context. And she has given me permission to read it out. I also have a picture of what these people look like as well. So that's so fun. And might I add, gorgeous girl. So this story is titled, Am I the arsehole for stealing my friend's boyfriend? I don't know. Let's read. So I love this. Before you grab your pitchforks, hear me out. I, 20 female at the time, had just ended a 2-year relationship, and it was in a rebound friends with benefits situation. Okay, sweet pea. Do we all know what friends with benefits are? Do you know what they are, Lizzie? Okay, good. As long as we're all on the same page here. So, I was in this FWB situation with, that does not feel right, friends with benefits situation with a guy who we will call Dave. Welcome, David. One day, he introduced me to his close friend, Amy, who somehow became a small post of our group over Discord calls and group chats. I don't understand that, but we move. A couple of months later, Amy was visiting from the UK. Okay, UK. She was dating a guy who we will call Steve, who is 19. Now, when I first met Steve, I wasn't exactly swooning. But the more we talked, the more I realised we were basically cut from the same cloth. Same college, same field, same vibe. The vibes are immaculate. Amy flew back. Steve naturally became a part of our group. So, question, is Amy and Steve in the UK together? Or is Steve in this country? We shall divulge. Amy flew back. Steve naturally became a part of our group. Coincidentally, my due job was just a minute from his house. We're in the same country. So we started hanging out more. We'd get lunch, coffee breaks, and maybe a little bit too much accidental quality time, you dirty little dog. Here's where it gets messy. Oh, and the lunch dates weren't messy. Okay. Amy wasn't exactly girlfriend of the year. When has she ever been girlfriend of the year? In fact, I'd say she was a nightmare. She had cheated on Steve multiple times, boo, yet somehow refused to let him go. It wasn't that he was still in love with her, he was stuck. Every time he tried to leave, she'd manipulate, guilt trip, and trap him into staying. What a nasty young woman. He was exhausted and done with her and desperate to break free. We're breaking free, this is not the first time I've sung that song on this podcast. This is a long story, buckle in, guys. Then came a stormy December night, literally. Floods left me stranded at work and Steve came to rescue me. Ooh, in a boat. Taking me to his place until I could get home. The car ride, electric. Was it an electric car or was the vibes electric? We talked about everything. His toxic relationship, our lives, our dreams. At one point, he looked at me. I looked at him. And for a split second, the world stopped. This is so fun. But we turned away. Oh, so it was like a... No. Sorry, I've just realised my bag's still here. That's all right. You can stay there, babe. Just staring at me. So, he was technically still taken. I see that, sissy boo. I see that sissy boo shine. It's a tough one. I've had friends in this situation, and you just can't deny your feelings sometimes. Fast forward a month, drinks were had, inhibitions were lowered, and I sent Steve that text. The one where I told him he deserved better and that he should finally break up with Amy. His response, is that you asking me out? My response, yes. A week later, Amy was out of the picture and Steve was mine. 3 years later, we're still together and I have zero regrets. Did I steal him? Maybe, but let's be real. He was a prisoner in that relationship and I just handed him the key. Oh! What a line. What a line. Then I have a picture of them both. Now, I believe that there is more to this story. Yeah, here we go. So there is more. First of all, you should take up creative writing because that was spectacular. From the get-go, the car ride, electric. Oh, it's like a ACOTAR book. Right, here we go. So this is a continuation. If you thought Amy was just another bitter ex, think again. Not only did she cheat on Steve multiple times, but once we got together, ruining our relationship became her full-time job. A couple of months in, Amy found out about us, and from that moment, it was war. One night, Steve and I were at a concert with my best friend, Alan, his girlfriend, my sister, and a few friends. After we hit up a resto bar, Lizzie, get on what the heck that is. So for those of you wondering, a resto bar is a combination of a restaurant and a bar, which is right, it's called a resto bar. The more you learn. So I get this DM from a private account, no name, no picture, completely untraceable. This girl, let's call her Stacy, claimed Steve was cheating on me, sending her pics, sexting her on Snapchat, and the whole 9 yards. She even had proof. Who are these people using Snapchat? Now, I trust my man, but I wasn't about to let it slide without receipts. Can I just add that these two people, that Steve and the writer, are beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Stacey sends me a pic of Steve in his boxers, but something was off. Steve had bulked up a lot since COVID, and this picture, it was at least 3 years old. Turns out Stacey was none other than Amy. She had dug up old pictures of Steve that he had sent her from when they were dating and used them in a fake cheating scandal. Is that distributing indecent images? Can we get her sent to jail? She still wasn't done. Since that failed miserably, Amy got her friend to text both me and Steve, threatening us. Okay, here we go. This is the text. Since that failed miserably, Amy got her friend to text both me and Steve, threatening us with some unhinged nonsense. The message was wild, a mix of body shaming, STD accusations, and some weird threats about my mum. Honestly, I could not make this shit up. I have attached the screenshot of the message. Shall we read the message now? Okay. Right. This is the text I've read, guys. I really need you to buckle in. So this is Amy's friend who is texting Steve and the writer. Give me a second to compose myself. Joe, are you ready? Joe's not heard this either. I'm going to try and do this without laughing. You know Regina George, she's like, Katie Heron is a ugly fucking slut. That's how I imagine this. Here we go. You stank ass whore. You just loves the idea of your man fucking you while thinking about her because he knows you ugly. And he said it as well. He loves my ass. He probably waiting for you to get a yeast infection. Then he gonna go fuck your mum next. LMAO, your pathetic ass can suck his nasty ass non-circumcised cock. He probably got an STD now. Fucking a gorilla looking ass disgrace for a female like you. One phone call to your mum, you're done for. Don't piss her off or she will do it. I'm sorry, my favourite part of this. LMAA, your pathetic ass can suck his nasty ass non-circumcised cock. He probably got an STD now, fucking a gorilla looking ass disgraced female like you. First of all, woman, use some punctuation. My girl here is writing me this absolute piece of novel, thank you, Lizzie, literature. You can't even add a comma. LMAO, comma. Your pathetic ass can suck his nasty ass circumcised cock, comma. He probably got an STD now from fucking a gorilla looking ass disgrace of a female like you. I would have personally put an exclamation mark there. And also, just so you know, hon, you do have to put a capital letter after a full stop. I know you can use commas because you have used one here when it says one phone call to your mum, comma, you're done for. So you know how to use punctuation for dramatic effect. You just have chose not to. Right, so that's the text. I actually can't believe that. I would love... Oh, imagine writing that out. She thinks she did a big one with that. So strange. Anyway, guess what? 3 years later, she's still going. Right, Amy needs a restraining order. Or a job. Whichever comes first. She tried everything, fake accounts, fake friendships, even trying to slide back into Steve's life. Blocking her on every platform wasn't enough of a sign that we want nothing to do with her. At this point, all I can do is sit back and wonder, how much free time does this woman have? Well, not enough to learn how to use commas correctly, because here she is. I think you need to... Oh, I don't know what you need to do. I think you need to block her number, that woman ass that sent the text, because strange. What is also really funny is in the screenshot at the bottom, it says message copied. So I know that message got put in a group chat somewhere, and I'm so proud of you for doing that, because also that's evidence. She threatened you many, many times. Amy has a lot of spare time. She's clearly very unhappy with her life, and you would be 19 at the time, so now you'd be 24, 25, to be behaving in such a manner whilst the frontal lobe has developed. Boring, uneducated, unclassy, uninteresting, to be honest. Do something with your life, sis. Have you started buying a house? Have you started saving for a house yet? How much money have you got in your pension? These are the questions we need to be asking, you fucking weirdo. Not sending messages like that. Yeah, okay. These are what you start to think about when you become a grown person. I hope you and Steve are not bothered by it at all and just learn that, oh, she's crazy. You know, I'd maybe if you're so lucky to get married, make sure she's in some sort of confined institution, because I fear she may turn up, or you're going to need like security or something. You know what? If you pay for my flight, I'll do it. We can make it a podcast episode. But thank you so much for sending that story in. That is absolute, like I say, a piece of literature that you've written there. And I really hope that the job that you're doing is in writing, because you're such a good story writer. I wish you all the best. If there is any updates on this situation, please let me know. And yeah, all right, let's go on to our next story. Okay, our next story is titled, My Boyfriend Planned a Surprise Party That Wasn't For Me. Story time. So let me tell you why I almost had to fight for my life on my own birthday. Oh, I felt really bad. It was my best friend Sophia's birthday the other day, and we were just sat. Oh, I feel so bad. I don't know why I said this. So we were sat having a little ice cream sundae, and obviously I told you about the limo on the way back from Garnier, and I've been thinking how I want to do that again. So I just sat there and went, on my birthday, I think I'd like to like to do a limo. We can just drive around for like 2 hours. And she went, we don't talk about other people's birthdays on other people's birthdays. I was like, oh no. Oh, I feel really bad that I bought up my birthday on her birthday. Sorry, Sophia. Anyway, because what you're about to hear is so insane, I can't believe it even happened. So my boyfriend, who we will call all together now, Steve, has a girl best friend. Oh, what is happening? Where are they making friends? With whom? From where? Doing what? Before you know it, before you even say it, yes, I know. She was one of those girls' best friends, like the type where you blink too long and the type where if you blink for too long, she's sitting on his lap. She wants your man. Anyway, my birthday, can I say something here? I think it's fully acceptable for boys to have female friends. I don't think that's an issue at all. I have a friend who is a boy who I say is one of my best friends. Actually, I have a few. 2. Just the 2. Just the 2. But I would never hang out with them on a social occasion one-on-one. Do you know what I mean? Partly because I have a partner and they also have partners, and I think that's a little bit strange. Like if it was like, oh, I'm just going to nip out on my coffee break to grab a coffee. Does anyone want to come with? That's fair enough, but I'm not arranging does that make sense? Anyway, my birthday was coming up and Steve kept acting super weird, like whispering on the phone, sneaking out, dodging questions when I'd ask if we had plans over my birthday. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, he's planning me a surprise party. That is so me coded. I think everything's about me. I'm going to be honest. I do. I think at any point, is this a surprise for me? So now I'm not a huge party person, but I thought that would be kind of cute. Yeah. You can't tell me you wouldn't love a surprise party. Anyone would love a surprise party. Joe, my birthday is the 21st of July. Just letting you know that is something that I would like to do this year. Get party planning. Now, cut to the day before my birthday. Amy starts posting those can't wait for tomorrow Instagram stories. And I'm like, oh, she must be... This is so me. I'm thinking, oh, she must be excited for my birthday too. No, she was not. So my birthday rolls around. I wake up. Steve is not there. No happy birthday, no text, no nothing. So now I'm thinking, did this man die? Is he dead? Did you die on my birthday? Because that's a very selfish day to die. You couldn't have done it 24 hours earlier or 24 hours later, you know? I call him, no answer. I text him, no response. At this point, I am fuming. I FaceTime one of our mutual friends and she looks like she just saw a ghost. I'm like, where's Steve? And she goes, oh, you don't know. Girl, what do I not know? So she sends me a PDF, a custom-made Canva invitation with glittery text. Oh, God. And tell me for why it says surprise party for Amy on my birthday. Steve had spent weeks planning this huge surprise for Amy. He had booked a venue, invited a whole host of their friends. He'd ordered catering, a cake, and entertainment, the whole thing, and arranged it on my birthday. That man must have spent so much money on all of that for him to just, first of all, he shouldn't have done it on your birthday, but to not even wake up with you on your birthday is so odd. I felt my soul leave my body. So what do? I pull up, dressed to kill. Slay. You weren't even invited. What the fuck is wrong with people? I walked in like I was the guest of honor. And guys, the silence that fell over the room. What did he expect to happen here? Steve looked like he'd seen a ghost. Amy was eating up the attention until she saw me. And she goes, oh my God, what are you doing here? I looked at Steve in his stupid face and said, so when was my surprise party, or am I just the joke of the year? And get this, he has the audacity to say, can you stop it, please? You're making a scene. Don't give me a stage then to cause a scene, loser. Let me tell you, I made a scene, damn right. I know you love when people make a scene. Well done. I took the mic off the DJ and said, shout out to my boyfriend for planning a party for another girl on my birthday. Hope you enjoyed the food. I then took a massive slice of Amy's cake and walked out with it. I'd have taken the whole cake. Mine now. Happy birthday, bitches. That'd have been me. Now Steve is begging for forgiveness and he's saying it's just bad timing and Amy is playing the victim. So tell me, was I petty for crashing the party or did Steve just play himself? I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You need to break up with Steve. I don't know how long you were together. Did it say how long? Because sometimes people forget when birthdays are, you know? But we shouldn't do that. It doesn't tell me how long you'd been together. There are 365 days in a year. He could have picked any other day or any other evening for him to hold that party. It took a lot of planning, a lot of his mind space. I mean, if you've ever planned a party, you will know how much of that brain space it takes up. Let's just do some calculating here. Let's say it's a nice venue in the centre of a town. Bang, £1.50, straight up. Catering, I don't know how much any of this stuff costs. A cake, easily £100, £1,600. What else? The entertainment, that's expensive. Let's slap an extra 600 quid on top of that. We're over 200, we're over £2,000 now. What else was there? Catering, entertainment, venue. Cake. No, done cake. Anyway, expensive time. He spent over £2,000 on his girl best friend, and he couldn't even text you in the morning to say happy birthday. I'll tell you why I didn't do that, because he would then be acknowledging that it was your birthday, which would then set off the conversation that he had planned another woman's birthday party on your birthday without saying so much as a fuck. What is that thing? I called for help twice. It's Jim Exotic. I called for help twice. Not so much as fuck you, how you doing, what are you doing, nothing. None of that. Couldn't even say morning. No. I hope you end it with him. I don't normally tell, I do it quite a lot on this podcast actually, but in my real life I don't normally tell people to break up with someone. It takes a lot for me to, I think you should really see your relationship through to the end. But that is a sackable offence. For you to not even be invited, and he's made a Canva invitation. Do you know how hard it is to use Canva? Especially on a laptop. I hope he's an iPad king, because a Canva on a laptop is awful. Does he have a job? When did he start planning all of this? Also, why did no one ask you if you were going? Strange. Strange. You aren't overreacting. I'd have taken the whole damn cake. Actually, would I? Yeah. And then I'd have smashed it. Don't want the cake Don't want the cake anyway. Just wanted to cause a bit of drama. So that's my opinion on that. Break up with your boyfriend. Yeah, because he's in love with Amy. Okay, let's move on to story number 3. Okay, story number 3 is titled, My Wedding Photos Were Hijacked by My Mother-in-Law. Story time. I really need to remember my posture. So, tell me why my own wedding day felt like I was starring in an episode of Survivor, Mother-in-Law edition. Because what happened to me, actually what happened to us, was barbaric. So, I married my amazing husband, we'll call him Steve. And listen, Steve is great, he treats me like gold, but his mum is a different breed. I should have seen the red flags earlier, because this woman has never in her life respected a boundary. She calls Steve her baby and tells him not a full... her baby. She calls Steve her baby like he's not a fully grown man with a mortgage and a receding hairline. Wow, shots fired at Steve. Don't bring his hairline into this. She refers to me as the wife. I'll refer back to 2 episodes ago, maybe, when it was, well, I'll refer to you as the woman that gave birth to him. The birther. Big birther. There aren't that many occasions I can laugh at myself. I think I'm so... Big Bertha. Anyway, our wedding day comes around. I'm feeling like a literal princess. I've got my dream dress, my makeup is flawless, and the venue is stunning. Everything is perfect until plot twist. It wasn't. We get to the part of the day where we're taking our wedding photos. Those once in a lifetime, hang them on the wall, show them to your grandkids' wedding photos. Tell me why this woman, Steve's mum, Big Bertha, decides she needs to be in every single one of the pictures. I'm talking my bridal portrait. She's there. Just me and Steve. No, it's not. She's standing right behind us, gripping his arm like he's about to be drafted to the wall. At first, I thought she was just joking around, so I laughed and said, okay, let's do a few more, just me and Steve now. She goes, oh no, sweetie, I need to be in these. After all, without me, there would be no Steve. Let's just take a minute for how entitled that statement is. And you know what, bitch? Without me, there wouldn't be any wedding photos for you to be in. Bertha. Bertha, I ain't asking. Simply love my ass. I'm going to change the name of mother-in-laws from Sandra to Bertha because I feel like that makes a lot more sense. I beg your finest pardon. The photographer literally looked at me like, girl, what do you want me to do? Meanwhile, Steve has just stood there smiling like a lost puppy. I imagine his, like massive fuck off forehead with his receding hairline like this. Good day, isn't it? So now I'm trying to keep it together, but I gently tell her this is our moment. I really want some photos of just us two. She straight up pouts like a child. Oh no, like this. Sorry, not like a not like a piece in a pout. Then she looks at Steve and goes, oh, honey, don't you want your mother in your wedding photos? Steve, my own husband, says, well, yeah, I guess. Sir, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Maybe this is why his hairline's receding, because his brain is just bulging out of his skull because he hasn't every thought about everything else other than looking after his wife. What do you mean? Yeah, I guess. Shut up, Steve. Disrespectfully, I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between it and tell you that you're an absolute prick. At this point, I'm seething. I love the word seething. Seething. Do you know what I mean? Seething. My dream wedding photos are turning into a bizarre family fortnight portrait. So I say, okay, fine. Let's just do one more with you. You. Do you know what she did? She grabbed my bouquet of flowers. My bridal bouquet of flowers. Like she was the bride. At that point, my soul left my body. So what did I do? I staged a fake bathroom emergency. Girls, I'm about to shit myself. I've got to go for a sec. I grabbed the photographer and I said, take as many pictures as you can in 5 minutes before she finds us. She's like, quick, go. Get it. Yeah, pose. And that's how my real wedding photos happened in a dark hallway. Oh, this is heartbreaking. No, we shouldn't laugh. We shouldn't laugh. In a dark hallway behind the venue's kitchen. Now Steve swears his mum meant well, but I don't know, guys. Should I be worried that my mother-in-law thought she was the bride at my own wedding? I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think you should be worried that your mother-in-law thought she was the bride at the wedding? And I'm going to hold your hand without a napkin. And yes, you should be very concerned by that. That is such concerning behaviour. And I'm so sorry. Actually, you drop me the name of that photographer. I'll slip her a quick honey bill, £100 bill. I'll get her to Photoshop your mum out of all the pictures. I think we can find someone to do that for you. We can get the bouquet back in your hands. Where's Steve's dad in all of this? Oh, Bertha, I ain't asking, but where the heck is your husband? You know? Because here's the thing. If Steve hasn't had a father figure his whole life, he's not seen anyone stand up to his mum. And his mum is the only sort of close family that he has got. So, of course, he's not going to stick up for her. And he's going to want his mum in the pictures. And she's obviously in love with her own son. A little bit too much. I reckon we can get this woman to Photoshop your mother-in-law out the pictures. Hell, we can get him to Photoshop Steve out if you want. We can bring that hairline down an inch or so. There's people out there that can do these things. It's crazy. Very talented people. I'm so sorry that I really hope the rest of the wedding went well. And it was just this that was like a bit of a hiccup. I just imagine you and Steve like in this gorgeous picture and then his mum like 200 yards back in the picture, like this, like not actually stood that close. I could just imagine like a sim in the background. I'm so sorry. That's really awful. And your wedding day should never have gone like that. I don't know how. I don't think Steve's man enough to stand up to her. Jesus Christ, please stop setting boundaries now for when you have children. Dear God, we need to start those ASAP. Oh my God, Lissy's just said the mum's going to start breastfeeding the children. Shit me. That's... Do not let her in the delivery suite when you have children. Because I have heard of mother-in-laws that have been in the delivery suite that have held the baby before the dad because they wanted to make sure they were the first one to hold the baby. You fucking clinically insane. So yeah, all in all, I'm really, really sorry about that. And I wish you a very happy and healthy marriage moving forward. So let's move on to story number 4. Story number 4 is titled, My Boyfriend's Family Had a Very Dark Secret. Story time. So this is hands down the most insane thing that has ever happened to me. Like, if I saw this in a movie, I'd roll my eyes and be like, that would never happen in real life. But guess what? It did. It happened to me. So I had been dating this guy, let's call him Steve, for about a year. And honestly, things were absolutely incredible. The only weird thing was I never met his family. He never let me. I'd bring it up and he'd get weirdly tense. He'd be like, they're just super private or they're kind of traditional and I don't want them judging you. Sir, I am a 10 out of 10. What do you mean judge me? I was like, okay, but after a year of dating, I started to find this a little bit sketchy. Then one day out of nowhere, Steve tells me, babe, my family really want to meet you. Okay. I was so excited, but when we pulled up to his family home, something felt completely off. First of all, the house was massive. Yeah, girl, ride it. She got that generational wealth. Like, it was old money vibes. It was giving we have secret passages under the house type massive. The second we walked in, things were completely weird. His parents were way too nice, overly interested in me, asking about my... What? Asking about my blood type, my family history. Are we at Dracula's house? Like, what are we dealing with here? If I had any rare medical conditions. They're going to harvest your organs, I fear. I thought they were just eccentric rich people, but then dinner happened. They're about to cook you. I think that's your dinner, babe. We're sitting at this long dining table, and halfway through the meal, Steve's mum just casually goes, so, how do you feel about commitment? I was like, yeah, I'm very committed to Steve. His dad leans forward and says, good, because in this family, we believe in keeping it in the bloodline. Run. I laughed thinking it was a joke. Spoiler alert, it was not a joke. They start going on about their family traditions and how they have their sacred duty to keep their wealth and genes pure. I'm telling you right now, they're going to sell your organs. That's how they're so rich. They're selling human body parts. I look at Steve, expecting him to be as horrified as I were, but this man is just sitting there nodding. He's nodding. Yeah, let's cook the missus. At this point, every alarm bell is going off in my brain and it's screaming at me. I did know that I needed to get out. So I excused myself to the bathroom, text my best friend my location, and when I came out... This is so strange. When I came out the bathroom, Steve's mum was there holding a contract. She's like, if you just sign here on passage 72, we'll get on with taking your kidneys. Do you have 2? Do you have 2 kidneys? Okay. That's great, sweetie. Double the bargain. Buy one, get one free on the kidneys. I watch way too much true crime. I kid you not, it was a legally binding arranged marriage agreement. They wanted me to marry Steve immediately on the dot and start producing their heirs. I told him I had to think about it. I grabbed my purse and got the hell out there. Steve chased me in my car, saying that this was an honor. Sorry? Steve chased me to the car, saying this was an honor, that his sister's husband was... That just escalated real quick. His sister's husband was also their cousin. Sweet home Alabama. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So, if they like to keep it in the bloodline, why are they so intent on him marrying you? Maybe that's why they were asking about rare medical conditions that are like hereditary or something. So I blocked him so fast, my phone nearly exploded. At the worst part, a week later, I got a text from his mum. We're willing to pay you to reconsider. Like, ma'am, what? Tell me, was I overreacting or did I just dodge the world's creepiest cult? Yes. Yes, you did. This is crazy. First of all, here's the thing. How much is she paying? How much can you get out of this? A couple mil? I'm thinking 7 figures, you know? I can be willing to look past the cousin husband for a cheeky 7 figures. I'd like it to start with an M and end in Illion, you know? Start with the number 10 and end in Illion. You know, these things, we can get that written in the contract, I'm sure. I wish you'd have read the contract first. They sound like baby farmers. Why did you have to be together for a year? Was it so Steve could, like, gather your trust? Or, I mean, they're very traditional. You were right with that. But, you know, you want your wedding day to be special. This is like, Lizzie, what's that man that created, the director that created the film? Is it John Boyega? No, it's not John Boyega. Get Out. This is giving that. Yeah. Or there's that other film where they play hide and seek. What? Daniel Kaluuya, that's it. There's that other film where they go to the house and they play the game. And it's they pull cards and whatever card is pulled negates what game they play. And then like every 20 odd years, the hide and seek card comes out. And basically the new girlfriend has to go hide and they have to try and kill her. So that's great. Anyway, that concludes today's episode, everyone. I hope you've had a brilliant time listening today. If you would like to get more juicy stories, head over to our socials, Tea2Sugars and Tea2Sugars Podcast on Instagram. If you want to send in a story, there is a link down below, or you can catch the link in our link tree on our socials. Make sure to give me a little follow whilst you're over there. It's just Tatty Lomas. I do story times as well, and they're all completely different stories to what is on the podcast. So that's great. That's super fun. If you've enjoyed today's episode on Spotify, make sure to follow us and give us a 5-star review. And if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe, hun. Why don't you come subscribe? Really helps out the page. I'll see you very, very shortly, guys. Have a fantastic week and keep shining. Bye.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.